Morning. Today I will be discussing my final project environmental literacy plan in regards to creating a sustainable community. Starting with education, I wanted to go over how I can educate those around me on how to protect the environment and its resources, as well as how you can do the same. I wanted to include the definition of environmental awareness, which is twofold. It is an indispensable part of the environmentalist movement's success. By educating our friends, family, and close ones that our physical environment and home is fragile and at risk, we can begin fixing the problems that threaten it. The process of saving the planet is bigger than just ourselves or even our friends and family. If we want to make a drastic change for our environment, we must all work together. Before promoting environmental protection awareness to our community and peers, we must first have a thorough understanding of current environmental issues. We can achieve this by staying up to date on the environmental news, reading books, and attending seminars. Further continuing with education, we need to understand that there are people in this world that live the way that they live, and they do not want to change the way that they live. However, we need to convince these people that we cannot let our children inherit our environmental problems that we greatly contributed to. Personally, I took an ecological footprint test and learned that if everyone lived the way that I lived before, we would need 3.9 Earths to sustain the resources we would need and to continue living the life that we live. That is absolutely crazy, and I believe most people live the same way I do. I drive my car to work every day. I have the AC on in the house. I wash and dry my clothes in a washing machine and dryer. I recycle when I can. It seems like a normal life, but not a life in regards to environmental awareness and protection. If only I make a change, there will not be any sort of significant change to our planet. Now comes the part of the presentation where I discuss how to live more sustainably, how we can all live more sustainably. There are many ways you can live a more sustainable life. Today I will discuss 5 simple ways to live to help ensure a sustainable future for generations after us. All it requires is a minor change to our current normal way of life. The first way we can live more sustainably is by paying attention to our electricity and appliances. This is one of the easiest ways to be more sustainable in your daily routine because it requires pressing one button or flicking one switch. Make sure to turn off the lights and air conditioning when you leave the room or your home. Also, adding dimmer switches to your lights may be more beneficial because you can control how bright the light is and how much energy you are using. You can also install a dual flush system in your home toilets so you can control the amount of water that you use. This is also one of the easiest ways to be more sustainable in your daily routine because it will also lighten your monthly electricity bill, saving the world and your wallet. The second way to live more sustainably is by your transportation. One of the biggest problems we have in our world is the amount of carbon we emit into the air and atmosphere. The easiest way to eliminate this problem is by avoiding vehicles entirely. Although this is ideal, it is not always realistic. Some people live in a city that may allow them to walk or bike to work or the grocery store instead of driving a motor vehicle. Carpooling and car services are also great ways to only use a car when you absolutely need to. All of these efforts help reduce carbon emissions. Continuing, the third way to live more sustainably is by being conscious of where you shop. When it comes to shopping, a great way to live a more sustainable life is to visit your local farmer's market for groceries. The delicious and farm fresh produce is usually organic and a better price without the plastic. Also, growing your own vegetables and herbs in your own backyard is a fantastic way to save money on your shopping trips and to reduce waste. This also ties into eating healthier and your food not traveling so far to get to your fork. Believe it or not, billing can also help you live a more sustainable life. Instead of receiving your bills and junk mail by the piles, go paperless whenever possible. Your monthly banking and electricity billing statements can be sent to your email instead, which makes it more accessible, secure, and organized. This tactic is better for the environment, and it will make your life easier in the process. Last but not least, I will be discussing how we can reduce waste to live our life more sustainably. It is so important to remember to correctly recycle and correctly dispose of our trash. When we throw away paper, plastic, and other waste instead of recycling, this wrongful disposal of trash creates more problems by polluting our soil, water sources, and oceans. Additionally, composting is a great way to live a more sustainable life. Many cities are now offering composting programs in their communities to help make life more sustainable. Again, to be more sustainable does not mean drastic life changes. These changes are healthier and costlier for you, and there are perks for benefiting the earth as well. Why not live a more sustainable life? Now it is my turn to create a more sustainable community, and I believe Cade Benfield stated it best in his article, "What does a sustainable community actually look like?" Moving to the red text, sustainable communities share a common purpose, places where people thrive to enjoy good health and create a high quality of life. A sustainable community reflects the interdependence of economic, environmental, and social issues by acknowledging that regions, cities, towns, and rural lands must continue into the future without diminishing the land, water, air, natural, and cultural resources that support them. Housing, transportation, and resource conservation are managed in ways that retain the economic, ecological, and scenic values of the environment. And they are communities where the consumption of fossil fuels, emissions of greenhouse gases, water resources, and pollution are minimized. With this in consideration, a sustainable community in my mind is pictured to be a community with no vehicles. There are children walking or riding a bike to and from school, and adults walking to and from work. Each are carrying a non-disposable lunchbox that holds fresh fruits and vegetables from the local farmer's market. The house lights are not on unless someone is home or in the room. Otherwise, curtains are open to allow natural light in the home. There are birds and bees that roam the neighborhood, contributing to the natural pollination for the plants. This site is a beautiful one. Although this is the perfect sustainable community, this is what we can strive to achieve if enough people are educated in how badly we are treating our earth. I believe it is possible. Do you? Thank you for listening to my final exam project for my environmental literacy class, and this last slide shows the references that I used for this presentation.